By the time you guys are watching this video, I'm probably gonna be in a very dark room with little to no food and water, slaving away at the Tortured Poets Department anthology video. That should be coming out sometime next week, but in the meantime, I gotta keep my lovely losers fed in a very dark room with little to no food and water, slaving away at the Tortured Poets Department anthology video. That should be coming out sometime next week, but in the meantime, I gotta keep my lovely losers fed. So we're doing a little bit of a different kind of video today. While I get the chance to talk about plenty of albums that I enjoy on this channel, there's obviously going to be a handful that I don't get a chance to talk about. So today, I want to give each of those albums a little mini spotlight that I have thoughts on, but just not enough to warrant an entire video. Maybe this will be something we do every few months, I don't know, but for now... Now listen, I know that a lot of Swifties watch my video. This is known, this is common knowledge. And I usually try not to feed into the drama that surrounds being a Swiftie. John Mayer is an artist that I actually really like and respect. He's definitely a little hit or miss for me. Like, I feel like sometimes he has these really basic songs like Your Body's a Wonderland that are just kind of like, okay. And then there's the few that are like really fucking good. Like, so good that, like, I rank them as, like, some of my best favorite songs of all time. One song in particular is Edge of Desire. Cannot recommend that song enough. Literally top 10 favorite song of all time. That guitar riff is just so nasty. And the lyrics are beautiful. Simple, beautiful. It's, like, the perfect song in my head, I'm not gonna lie to you. But we're not talking about Battle Studies today, we're talking about Continuum. I'm pretty sure this is, like, his first album that was, like, full-on, like, pop blues. And I listened to it for the first time pretty recently, and I actually really liked it. This album in particular, I feel like, highlights how great he is at guitar. I know he gets a lot of hate for being like just overrated, but if anything, I think people tend to gravitate towards flashier guitarists that just do the most. John Mayer's not like that, he's very tasteful with everything that he does, and his songs kind of showcase that. Just these beautiful guitar riffs on this album across every single song. Gravity, Slow Dancing in Burning Room, Belief. Yeah, there's Waiting on the World to Change, but we don't talk about that song. Electric guitar is such a beautiful instrument, and honestly, listening to him play makes me want to get better at electric guitar, but I just suck, and it just like makes me so sad how much I suck, but I'm working on it. Anyways, just based off a couple listens, I'd probably give this album like a 7.5 to an 8. Sonically really beautiful. I'm not the hugest fan of John Mayer's voice. I think it matches his sound perfectly, and you know what? You gotta get the hype, man. Alright, Taylor Swift was probably so infatuated with him back in the day. I understand why. If I were in your shoes, Taylor, I would have fallen for the trap too. I do think it's also worth mentioning that a lot of the hate that John Mayer has gotten is from like how he acted in the past when he was younger. If you watch more recent interviews and like see him talk about music now, much more grounded, much more level-headed. Honestly, just seems like a chill guy, which like I know a lot of people have a hard time distinguishing the two, understanding that yeah, people can change and grow and mature. I don't know, that's just me. I think he seems pretty cool. I would love to like have lunch with him sometime. Overall, I would definitely recommend this album if you're looking to see the appeal of John Mayer. This feels like the right place to start. A lot of these songs are like, just more slower, kind of not necessarily all sad emotions, but you just feel feelings. I've been on a bit of a Jon Bellion kick as well past few weeks, and this is an album that I've always known about, and I tried listening to it once like a few years ago, and I just did not like it at all. But now that I've become more familiar and just more, I guess, in touch with what I like in music, I like to think my taste in music is maturing just ever so slightly. Obviously, I still listen to the freaking Jonas Brothers, but it's a bit more refined now. Like, I could listen to an album like this and see the appeal, and I actually really liked it. I think Jon Bellion... A lot of the times his lyrics are kind of corny, but there are some songs where I genuinely appreciate his perspective, talking about how, you know what, money isn't fucking everything, which is a sentiment that I fucking live by. I've also seen some interviews with him recently, just going down this Jon Bellion rabbit hole, and he just seems like a cool dude. I want to grab lunch with him too. Can we get lunch like the three of us? A lot of the songs on this album feel like they're centered around just having like really solid drums. The footage I've seen of Jon Bellion like composing his songs usually starts with like some sort of rhythm hook, like boom, boom-ga, boom, ga, and then he'll add on top like boom, ga, boom, ga, and then maybe he'll throw in like a weird boom, ga. I don't know, I just made that up, but you kind of get what I mean. And that's definitely very apparent. All the songs have like a really interesting, unique groove to them. My favorite song off the album is probably Guillotine. I don't really know. I like 80s films a lot. I like Guillotine. I like All Time Low. Listening to this really helped me realize how important like a groove is. I think Jon Bellion's a pretty good singer, but that's definitely not like at the forefront for this album, nor are the lyrics. It's really just the groove of each of the songs. And to me, it's just like good brain wrinkling pop music. We live in a world where so many artists are just recycling the same 80s synth fucking basic ass sounds, and I'm not gonna complain, Please, 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 kind of a fire song. And I know this album came out like 8 years ago, but just my point is to see someone like Jon Bellion not restricting himself to any kind of trend, but just really taking each song where it goes naturally. It's just really cool. I definitely would not appreciate these songs as much as I do if I hadn't seen the behind the scenes of them being made. He posts all that on his YouTube channel. That's so sick, bro. So sick. So yeah, listen to that album if you feel like having a good time. And also, if you want to listen to some good pop music that is kind of like brain wrinkling and kind of cool and like a little more mentally stimulating than like some of the other mainstream artists that we get around today, but not too alternative that it feels like, what am I listening to? Yeah. This is kind of the John Bellion part 2. He produced Tori Kelly's most recent album. I did not think the album was fantastic. Like, it was okay. Some great songs, but also some that just felt very... She's like so good on paper, but there is definitely a quality that she's missing that I think would make her stand out as like an artist. You know, and that's why I always found it kind of funny. It's like everyone kind of knows who Tori Kelly is, but can you name a Tori Kelly song? Probably not. I don't know. I mean, I can now that I listened to this album, but prior to. Now, John Bellion did also produce this album, and it's so... Oh, the opening track, Thing You Do. Oh, bro, it's so good. It's so fun. Oh, dude. Go on John Bellion's Instagram right now and watch the video of him in the studio with Tori Kelly orchestrating the entire thing. He's got a guy on the piano going... Dun, 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 and then he comes in with the... Aside from that song though, and then also Young Gun I think is pretty decent. No crazy hooks, but I just like in general that she takes risks on this album instead of just falling back on her great singing. There's just a lot of interesting choices on this album, and I think a lot of them pay off. Go check it out if you're freaking cool. I don't know. Charlie Puth and I kind of have like low-key like the smallest sliver of beef. He's very clearly a gifted musician, and he does the thing on TikTok where he has perfect pitch and he knows what he's doing. When I listen to this album, there's a lot of songs that I'm okay, this is a solid pop song, but then he opens his fucking mouth and I kind of hate myself for even thinking anything remotely positive about the song. The lyrics, very bad, very mid. I also have always made the joke with my friends that Charlie Puth has the voice of an AI-generated pop star. It literally just sounds like he's AI-generated. I don't know. It's too... The notes are too perfect. His tone is so, like, robotic, and I don't fucking like it. But that is preference. Again, like I said, there's plenty of songs on this album that I actually enjoy. Smells Like Me is probably my favorite. I hope you say it smells like me. Can't hit that note. And I did kind of like Light Switch when it came out, but at the same time, a lot of the songs on this are super gimmicky. Memories Follow Me Left and Right song that's just playing with the 8D spatial thingy. Light Switch is just the sound of a light switch, there's a lot of choices where I'm just kind of like, oh, I get it. And then that's it, because it's like, what was the point? Granted, you could say that that's not necessarily a bad thing, because like at the end of the day, pop music can go as deep as it wants to. When I listen to this album, it's not like I feel like Charlie is trying to make me feel deeper emotions than I am. It's just like, I don't know. Like a lot of the times I can enjoy it, but then I'll like come to at some point and be like, why am I listening to this garbage? I'd probably give that album like a 3. The lyrics are really weird, bro. Like, what the fuck? Now listen, some of the songs, no, you know what, I'll probably say most of the songs are pretty mid. They're pretty mid. I do respect how unapologetically boy band this album is. If you're really into that sound, you'll probably enjoy it. But I was never really like into the boy band craze, you know what I mean? So because of that, a lot of them are misses for me. But there's a few that I do like. Waves, I think is a decently good single. Fucking Forget You Now was my staple banger last summer. You play me like a mama, can't forget. And also Weekends, I think, is a pretty fun one. Whenever people would ask me why I listen to a group like Big Time Rush, I kind of just be like,
yo, bro, it's like so fun. Like, just like let your inhibitions go and just like have fun with it.
But this album kind of proved to me that like, no, that doesn't always apply. I would probably say that a lot of these songs are of the same caliber as their older ones, like Boyfriend or Any Kind of Guy, but because they are coming out now and not before, they just don't be hitting the same. Listen to that album if you... Don't listen to that album. I don't know. I don't even know why I included it, to be honest. Utopia, Utopia. I'm not like a huge hip hop guy. I really don't listen to it at all. But Travis Scott is one of those artists that I will always listen to whenever he drops. I really loved Astroworld when it came out. I know a lot of people kind of now are starting to say that it's overrated, but I think still just consistently there's so many songs on that album that I love. I've heard Rodeo is better. Haven't listened to that yet. I will probably make a video on that someday because I really want to listen to it. But on my first listen, I feel like Utopia was kind of not a disappointment. There were definitely some aspects I liked about it. Like I really enjoyed the more boom bap sound that he was embracing on some of the songs, like Modern Jam or Hyena. But it didn't feel as like grand as I think Astroworld did, and that was a little bit disappointing to me. With that said, I saw him in concert. Like I think that was in December. And damn, that was crazy. Favorite song is probably My Eyes. Fire, bro. The beat switch. Oh, look at my eyes. Tell me picture perfect. Do I look fried? Fire, 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 fire. And in general, I just think the album has grown on me a lot. Fun songs, fun songs. Anyways, I guess we'll wrap this video up. Kind of feel like I just yapped for the entire thing. Like all I did was go down this list and say,
Oh, I listened to this album. Oh, I thought that was kind of nice. Oh, and then I listened to this album. Oh, that was okay.
I just wanted to share with you guys some of the music that I am listening to lately outside of my videos. Be sure to comment down below if you've listened to any of these albums and what your thoughts are on them. Also, if you end up listening to them because I talked about it in this video, let me know what you think. I would probably say that I recommend all these albums except Charlie and maybe Another Life, depending on your taste. Love you guys so much. See you next week, hopefully.
Metro Boomin, make it boom. I'm working late, cause I'm a singer.
It's lit.
Come outside
For the night. Yeah.
Yeah.